Just checking to see if everything is all right. And everything does seem to be okay. Waiting for YouTube to catch up, which I think it has. There we go. And I think I'll just jump straight into it. So today, I'm just going to be grinding whatever I feel like and playing whatever I feel like. If anybody requests me to play something, I'll try and do that. But my goal today is to get creatures of at least, which should be fairly easy and fairly quick. And then after that, maybe try and get Orion and refinish off my British tech tree. So first, some Russian cruisers. It should be easily done, maybe a match or two, 3. And I'll be one step closer to getting myself some Russian battleships. But now it's just a lot of waiting. And over recent news that we're not getting a naval event anytime soon either. Even more waiting. Although, the next update should be around the corner. 2 or 3 more weeks. Probably 3. And hopefully get some cool boats then, because I'm kind of running out of stuff to research. Stuff to grind. And there we go. Our first match of the night. Let's see how it'll go. Encounter Black Sea Port is a bit tricky because we only have one spawn point, don't we? Hello there. We do only have one spawn point. I'm going to spawn Sherbakov first because I believe it has... costs more to research stuff, doesn't it? Marat, so we're in a full up tier. Well, not full up tier, it's 6-7. Let's hope it is just 6-7 and not 7-0, because I really don't want to fight Scharnhorsts. That's a Pre-dreadnought, whatever that French battleship is. And the dreadnought, and the dreadnought. And an enemy Russian cruiser. I'd like to get behind that island. Let's see what we can do. Maybe even get behind there. Uh-oh. Now you know my every move. Whatever will I do? But yeah, no, I'm just As the title of this stream implies, I'll just be taking it easy. Don't particularly care if I win or lose. Because I'm fairly certain I'll get myself the quiches off tonight. It's the lock just as a fire, but that shouldn't be the biggest problem. The amount of battleships will be there. But it seems I managed to finish off that original Sverdlov. Well, speaking of Scharnhorsts, so this is a 7-0 match. We don't have any 7-0s and they have 2 Scharnhorsts that are not in a squad. Well, that's something at least. Let's manually control that. And just try and pepper the Scharnhorsts as much as I can. About to get into cover. The bud says as long as I can survive, but I kind of doubt it'll happen. I'm also flooding like crazy, but okay, if flooding is secure. No, yeah, it is. So let's just put out a fire. And I cannot undo the flooding because that's a critically damaged compartment with 1 salvo. Lovely. Although I did think I lost my secondary ammunition. I did. Secondary ammo detonation. Blacked out the compartment immediately. Oh, a little further. And dead. I took 2 salvos to the engines and I'm dead. Okay. The fact we genuinely don't have any 7-0s or salvos is depressing. But oh well, we'll move on. And if it dies thrice, we have a good excuse to leave. Yeah, hello. So what we do now is try and not become targets of the Scharnhorsts. And I have a Mutze. Okay, so there's 3 7-0s in the enemy team. Okay. Uh-huh. Well, it's yeah. Yeah. You're having very good matchmaking if you're currently the Mutz and the 2 Scharnhorsts, that's for sure. I know, I don't really like the Russian cruisers too much, but they're fine light cruisers. It's just that 6-0 matchmaking is not the greatest, especially this one. Especially this one. That's a wreck floating by. So basically at this point I know there's no hope of winning this match. So let's just try and do as much damage as possible before losing. There goes half my crew in a single salvo. Expect more to be lost momentarily. Yep, there goes another 20%. Don't want flooding to be automatic. I'm down to 10. And dead. Lovely. Oh, I know the Russian cruisers are pretty good. I don't know. I've never been good with them. I probably should have been bringing my own aircraft along, but I think that's looking pretty good. So let's see what we get. Okay, PE2 with 500s. Worth a shot. The thing is, of course, that Scharnhorst anti-air is actually pretty good. And I am not the greatest of these twin-engine dive bombers. At least not the ones I'm unfamiliar with. Oh, I know. I know how to use them, don't worry. It's just that, yeah, in this matchmaking it's not going to go well. Because you can't really overwhelm a Scharnhorst with 6-inch guns, to be honest. Not with the Soviet ones. Heck, I don't even think the US one could do anything to them. Aiming for the front third cluster. And plane bird down so I could make it pop. Lovely. Those are also always the most fun types of deaths in aircraft. Just get yeeted out immediately. You can't. Not too Scharnhorst. Believe me, I've already tried with the first spawn, it didn't go well. That one's actually pretty low. Currently grinding for Kutuzov. I only have 12,000 more RP to get it. So it's going to be like 2 or 3 matches with these cruisers, and then I'll move on to another lineup. There is a little bit of a bug with torpedoes. I think I know what you're trying to refer to. Well, there's a bit of a bug with launching them. Can't really showcase now because I don't have a ship with torpedoes. Well, adequate torpedo launchers. This only has one either side. Yes, that bug, I think. Oh no, I think the 6.0 cruisers are pretty good. It is just that when paired against, you know, with no 7.0s on your team and 3 7.0s on the enemy team, you're not going to do too well. At least I won't. Yeah, that's the one. I'll showcase the aiming bug in just a bit. I'll showcase it after this match if I remember it. And if I can show it. Because I think it's something you'll even see in test-wise. There's just a destroyer shooting at me. For a second I thought it was a Scharnhorst. It is quite frustrating, the torpedo aiming bug, I know. I think I've run into it last week as well on my stream. When playing some of the American destroyers.
Attack the enemy!
crew again to number up. And now I'm flooding, but let's just put a fire out first. And then we're flooding. Get ourselves behind a solid bit of rock. I'm flooding anymore. Come on. Oh, that's a permanently flooded compartment, isn't it? Or is it just my armor plates being... Nope, that compartment is blacked out. Probably.
Take him down.
Come on. Only one compartment that should be critically flooding. Why am I already at 30%? 25% points remaining. Or are you telling me that entire compartment is 100% of my buoyancy? Come on. If that compartment... that rates at 13% remaining, Jesus. Okay. That doesn't seem right, and I'll just take a screenshot of that actually. But only one compartment locked out, and I'm at 13% points remaining. That is not good. Not good at all. Horse continuing on uncontested, and I, in a cruiser, I'm currently the best scorer on our team. Always a good sign when we're in a battleship match. That is our buddy in the Mutsu that I'd rather not deal with. I have battleships, yeah. Not in this lineup though.
Take him down.
I have a lot of battleships. Okay, I'll show you the tech trees after I'm done. If you so want to know. But I've got battleships, and I've got all American blue water ships, almost all British ones, all Japanese ones. I'm missing the top two for Italy. I don't have any French battleships, and I don't have any Russian battleships. And the German ones I forgot about. I only got the first two German battleships. And the Baden from the event. Yeah, the Russians do have all right battleships. They're not not what they used to be, those Russian battleships. They used to be real menaces. They're still pretty good. Okay. I think that's the second time he just one-shot in Northampton.
Противник сбавляет ход. Наблюдаю крен и дифферент. Внимание! Имеем серьезные повреждения. Право руля. Руль право. Приступить к борьбе за живучесть. Лево на борт. Руль лево на борту. Клетки крейсера.
There goes the enemy Mutsu. But there's still 2 Scharnhorsts doing what they do well, convoy raiding. That's the Marat, isn't it? It is. The American BBs are difficult, that's for sure. I wouldn't really call them bad because they do have decent guns, it's just that those guns reload in half a century. Immediately as well, so I'm just going to be flooding to death, I think.
Цель. Линейный крейсер.
Well... The Americans have really good cruisers, well, light cruisers. Other than that, they kind of... they're not the most competitive at top tier. I still like their battleships as well. They're big ol'... they're chunky. It also doesn't help that they're quite vulnerable to detonations, the American battleships. Well, who's best? Who do you think? It's just the Scharnhorsts are currently still the best ship in game. Just by how tanky they are. They're not unkillable though, but for some reason people just don't shoot at Scharnhorsts. There we go. Fair chunk done. What do I get next? Let's see. Might want to get rudder replacement out of the selection. Anyways, I was going to look at torpedo bug, wasn't I? Sure, I'll just do this test sail real quick. No, let's go ahead. Let's see. What's happening on this ship? I did have it happen on the Fletcher, so let's not leave vehicle, return to hangar. Let's see what I can do on a Fletcher. I'll put it on the move. Because I don't really know the exact trigger for that torpedo aiming bug, but I know there is one and it is quite annoying.
Free and clear to navigate. Agent.
Yeah, I'll do it on the move this time.
Left over. Left harbor. Heading is go. Wilson, make condition one. Ready.
Let's see.
Torpedo away.
There we go. One of them moved off target.
Right. Standard
Just
rudder.
whoop, moved off target. Not quite sure what triggered it though. Let's restart that and see if going in a turn makes it more noticeable.
All hands man battle stations. Set condition 1.
But what I
Lock down all
suspect
compartments.
happens,
Rank B.
although I'm in no way sure it actually does. Let's do this again, this time turning.
Ocean, take condition 1. Movement over.
Oh, those all behaved.
Steady as she goes.
Yeah, I don't know what triggers it, but there is a bug where it'll just veer off target for some reason. And this is quite annoying. Anyways, back to Russian cruisers and invite him. Yeah, the thing is, I think it also is something that has to do with there being multiple launchers that can launch at a target. No, I see the question, but let me just read it through again. Rank 3 and entering rank 4. Let me actually check that. So around here-ish. Atlanta is definitely the one you want to go for first. Because Atlanta is a really fun ship. And arguably shouldn't be a 5.3 but a 5.7 instead, but no well. The American heavy cruisers though are not all that good. I quite like them. But they're not the greatest. When it comes to rank 3, well, you have 2 the same destroyers or 2 the same cruisers. Just, yeah. But going into rank 4, you definitely want to go for Atlanta first. Because that thing is fun. And then this entire line of American ships is pretty good. They're light cruisers. Anyways, what else did I miss? Yeah, I've had some... Well, what was I playing the other day? I think I was playing a Russian destroyer, or a destroyer of some description. And I was trying to launch torpedoes at close range at something, and yeah, half of them missed as well, and it's just very frustrating. But yeah, anyways, Russian cruisers. Nope. Oh, wait a sec. That as well, yeah. And the heavy cruisers just aren't great. Again, I like them, because I don't know why I like the American heavy cruisers, but I just do. But then again, amongst my friend group, I'm known as being cursed when it comes to ships in general. Ships that don't perform well in game or shouldn't perform well, I do decent with, and ships that should perform well in matches, I don't do decently with at all. And that's probably why I don't really like the Russian tech tree that much. Because on paper, they really are good ships, and I've seen people have really good matches with these Russian ships, but I just I'm never able to get the hang of them. Oh, I always play Naval then. What I usually do when I play Naval is I have 2 monitors, right? Because, one, it's also easier to stream with 2 monitors. But I just have 2 monitors. I have Naval on the main monitor, and I put a YouTube video on the second one, and just, you know, whilst I'm waiting 3 minutes in the queue, watch a YouTube video. And whilst I'm playing the game, just listen to stuff. And then every now and then I'll just like play 2 matches, take a break for 20 minutes, and just keep going. Like, I like playing in a squad, especially with voice comms, although not for the stream for obvious reasons. And that can be fun, but that gets tiring after an hour or 2. Also, it unironically does take longer to find matches with a squad in Naval. But oh well. Oh yeah, don't worry, you don't have to... You don't have to join me for a squad. Although I really should be more... I should try and be a bit more active on my own Discord to get into squads with people. But I'm not really somebody who plays in squads. Not tomorrow, no. I only stream Saturday evenings. Because that's a time where I can guarantee that I'll be free. Yeah, that's exactly the reason. Simeon, if I said it correctly? That's exactly why matchmaking takes longer with squads. Okay, the same map, but 2 spawn points at least. I think I'll try and go here. Actually, rushing the B point is quite fun as well, so that's maybe... We'll see. We'll be fighting around these island groups here, around B. 5-3, so that's already a good start. Might mean we're full down here. A tonne, that's a rare sight nowadays. Eugen is 6-0. It might be a 6-0 match. We're down here. Lovely.
Attack enemy troops!
Тяжелый крейсер. Спереди. Дистанция 14 000.
Боевая тревога. Право руля.
Руль право.
No real reason to shoot at this range yet. Okay. Of course, until we get shot at. But I don't think... Oh no, that looks like RNJP. No more friend than a tonne. So I think it's time to return to our own salvos.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
We're straddling it, and it's still turned in towards us. Getting some decent hits in. How am I already down to 42% crew? Okay. Let's just ignore my own crew count for the time being. And just keep sailing towards B. Is that AI shooting me up as well? Or what is it? No, that's the one. No, that's also an AI. It's really... Like, where did I lose all my crew? I can't see it in this X-ray view either.
Опасна малая глубина прямо по курсу.
Oh well. Boat plane, probably.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Опасна малая глубина прямо по курсу.
I don't think they'll be too interesting. Well, they'll be interesting, but at what PR would you put them? Because they're slow, and whilst they're armed, if you put them to BR with destroyers will just rip them up. Yeah, for some reason the internal crew compartments no longer show in the X-ray view, I think. But there's definitely something missing, but I don't know where. Well, I have a sneaking suspicion where my crew will be pulled out from under me. But yeah. I'm getting juked by an AI. I think that Tony got into cover. I've got some... Not the Megami, the Suzuya. And is it a Helena next to it? Oh boy. We're in for a bit of a fight. Yeah. Yeah, it is not going to go well for me.
Аварийной группе ликвидировать пожар.
As you can say whatever you want about the Japanese ships, but they do hit hard. There we go. Okay, I somehow detonated the Suzuya. With just one salvo. And now let's focus on that Helena.
Право на борт.
Yep, like that's one of... I don't really like these cruisers because they're quite fragile as well. But yeah. I know that they are good ships, they're just a bit too fragile for my taste. Got melted. If I can just finish it off. Great.
Боевая тревога. Есть поражение.
The tonic got blown up. No, it's still there, but it's behind the hill where I can't shoot it. Ooh, spay.
Лево руля.
And an AI SKR. Are there? There's two spays. Interesting.
Цель. Тяжелый крейсер. Цель. Тяжелый крейсер. Дистанция 11 тысяч. Имеем повреждение. Средний. Попадание.
Not quite sure if it was a good idea of mine to just annoy that spay. Yep, I'll see you around next time. Oh well. Whatever, really.
Total effort and victory will be ours.
Good night. Well, I am the Japanese main technically, although I don't really play them much because I've already spaded most of them. They're both kind of special to get into. The Japanese destroyers are not really the greatest when it comes to guns, although they also are at the same time. They have great gun ballistics, but only high explosive shells and no AP variant. That can be a bit rough, but excellent torpedoes. Germany is kind of the same boat, but they have really high rate of fire and no full like standing armor piercing or armor piercing shells, but they do have base use high explosive, which is good enough. Then the early cruisers are okay for Germany, kind of okay for Japan, but not the greatest. Then later on, Germany 5.7 is okay, actually pretty good. And Japan can be a bit rough, they're kind of fragile. So the German cruisers are fragile but very potent guns. And then battleships is quite different, with Germany having a shit ton of dreadnoughts, which are not my cup of tea, but they're alright. And then Japan has exactly one standard dreadnought and then a bunch of 14-inch armed ships, which are great, but fragile. And then when it comes for top tier, Germany has the tankiest ship, whilst Japan has a ship with the biggest guns. I think the German tactic is a bit easier to go through compared to Japan, but they're both... I don't know. It's been a while since actually... a long while since I've gone through those trees. And I still have a strong bias towards my Japanese ships. Oh yeah, and coastal, well, yeah, they have a better variety, but it is. Germany is probably the one coastal tree at the moment that I am stuck on the most. I'm currently at like 3.0 for German coast, and it's such a roadblock at the moment. Because big, slow boats are not really competitive enough in coastal nowadays. Yeah, they're the only ones that don't have base use. Although their high explosive is not that bad, so it's actually still fine. Okay, now I've made a bit of a mistake here because he caught me in a turn where I only have my front gun shooting at him. Well, if you can land a torpedo, sure. But in my opinion, there's no real reason to bring destroyers to matches with big ships, unless we're talking about naval EC. Yeah, Z-47 is definitely not the best ship to grind with, I think. I should probably replay that ship actually. Because it did quote-unquote buff high explosive shells not that long ago, which made Japanese destroyers usable. And I think that Z-47 is actually pretty okay, not so? But I really need to replay it to get a good idea on it. Hello everybody, and welcome to the stream. Quite a lot of new faces today. And everybody's welcome. And especially if you have any questions about naval and such like, feel free to ask. B-17, let's relinquish control of the secondaries and let them do their job.
Угроза столкновения. Есть попадание.
Did I run into something? Yes, I ran into my squad mate.
Лево руля.
I need to play the Karl Marx. It probably might actually be a good way to get myself through the roadblock of German coastal. Well, that's lovely to see. I do like Dollar plays as well. I think he actually shouted me out once, and that was very nice to see out of nowhere. He's a fun guy to watch naval videos of, even for me. He's also the based kind of person that knows about B-65, so immediately on my good YouTubes to watch list. Good stuff. I do have to apologize for my atrocious video upload schedule though. Like on a lucky month I might publish one video. I really should up that frequency a bit. Well, I was going to have a video out last week, but then yeah, I made a bit of a mistake.
Дистанция 14 тысяч.
Let's just check for radar content, radar contact. Oh, we do have one. It's friendly. Of course, the Bravious missile into the ocean. It can be a bit tricky to control. Let's see if we can slap that PR-206. Nope. Yeah, I really don't, to be honest, but yeah. Yeah, next week I'll start on making regular videos again. Actually, just try and start get a upload schedule together. Actually, I could start tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, it is the basically Japanese Alaska. And Dollar Plays once made a post saying that he would really like to see that ship, and that immediately made me like him even more. Because I really want to see that ship as well. I mean, yeah, it is something that sometimes comes and goes. Like recently, last week, I haven't been playing much Naval at all either. But I'm also at the point where I don't really have anything I want to get anymore, any new ships. And also a new update is about like 2 or 3 weeks away, so I'm kind of waiting for any more ship news from that. And so on. It seems I can make it into the cap without sinking, although I really shouldn't be saying that. It's me saying that it's going to sink me.
Стоп, машины.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Yes, that's exactly the ship you're thinking of. It doesn't need the Azuma in all the warships.
Есть попадание.
Most of the strategic zones are captured.
Managed to capture the point. Can I detonate his Eugen though?
Awesome!
The only sad part about B-65 is that apparently it never got laid down, or the 310mm guns for it didn't actually exist. But the likelihood we'll see that in game is pretty much nothing. And I get detonated instead of the Hipper. I think myself was gonna miss. Nope. Good. And we have one more spawn. Oh boy, let's not think about it. That was quite a something to see. Although I will admit that if you don't know anything about Naval, and you just type in like Queen Mary ship, you do run into RMS Queen Mary before HMS Queen Mary. Yeah, that was wild. Yeah. Tulsa is definitely like the... Technically it's a Kaga class, but the Tulsa class battleship would definitely be very interesting to see. And very likely as well together with Amagi, because both of those did get laid down. And there's practically nothing in between our current Mutsu and Yamato, except for the Tulsa and Amagi. So I'd also love to see those.
And victory will surely be ours.
Yeah, Tulsa was floating. Its whole... There's a picture of it with its hull just sitting in the water. So they're definitely possible to be added. Can I... There we go, that made it a German cruiser. This has been a very good match. Just need to manually control secondaries again. I'm not the biggest fan of the 15-inch guns, but they're all right. I've played Baden a fair bit, like just after the event finished, and it's all right. But I'm not the biggest fan of Battleship's gameplay in general. Too slow for my liking. But Baden is fun. The Bayern and the... What is the other one? I forgot what the other one's called, but yeah. They're okay. Yeah, AI secondaries don't really do what they should do in this... They're not the... AI secondaries against ships are not to be relied upon, but you can manually control them together with your main guns, so that's fine. The Kronstadt Trout is not pure fantasy. It actually got laid down and started construction. Although I think the gun performance is kind of dubious. And there we go. Mikhail Kuchezov unlocked. I'll buy it another time though, and we'll start research into the Poltava. Let's go with propeller replacement. I don't think turret rotation is actually that bad on these ships stock. And there we go. But now, Kuchezov got. I want to move on to my battleships. And get Orion maybe. Yeah, hold on. Let me actually just double check the German battleships. Yeah, you have Baden. You have Bayern and you have Sachsen. That's the one I forgot. And yeah. That's Camo from the event as well. They're alright ships. I think, what's the reload again? Let me just go to the lineup. Yeah, a standard battleship reload. Actually pretty fast. 26 seconds stop. So you're gonna probably gotta do 27 without the ace. That's a decent rate of fire for pretty big guns. Secondary wise, yeah, 6-inch guns aren't too bad. Although they won't do much against battleships, really. But yeah. Anyways, back to Britain. And we're gonna grind out the Orion. I might be able to do that tonight. I'm going to be playing 6.3 first, because I still have this Colossus to spade. Phoenix wants to... I'll invite him first, actually. There we go. I should probably bring a plane of my own, shouldn't I? But what to bring? I could bring the Wyvern, but that's... I'll just bring the Wyvern, I guess. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. I'm not too aware of the French ships and their battleships. Especially the ones that were like the project ones. But yeah, it would be interesting. I am quite curious what we're going to see for the next update, though. Because I really wish to just move along with the battleship additions to this game. Although we did finally get 16-inch guns last update, it's still quite slow, only like 1 or 2 battleships a patch. Oh yeah, I think it's just a crime we haven't gotten Dunkirk already. The fact that they didn't release Dunkirk together with the release of the French Naval Tree is just... Ugh, I don't understand. Because the French Naval Tree is just... Ugh. Colorado would be interesting. Although I don't really think Mutsu needs a counter, really. Because it's not really the greatest battleship around. It is pretty potent, but... Still pretty fragile like the other Japanese battleships. But the Colorado wouldn't hurt. I just want to see more and more of the advanced battleships. Or just more battleships in general. But I do know that their models tend to take some time, or at least they've said so. Actually, how many battleships did we get last update? Was it just Mutsu? Same. Part of me really wants to see aircraft carriers as well. I need to stop knocking to my microphone. But I have actually made like an entire, I think, 40-minute video on aircraft carriers and how I think they would work or should work. And like my gripes and my concerns with them. It's a bit of an older video by now, and I have some more different opinions now than I had back then, but there's one out there. And I'm mostly of the opinion for now that we should just have light carriers and not the full-on fleet carriers. Because fleet carriers can put out a scary amount of aircraft. Oh yeah, I've got that one as well. That Suzuki is pretty fun. Well, maybe not. I don't know if you're aware of the submarine event last November. Yeah, carriers like Saipan Ryujo, I think, for like Japan. Like the smaller ones. But yeah, like the thing about the submarines, I think, is that they might be a threat to battleships, but at the same time, will they ever get to battleships? Like, you know, get close enough to them? Because submarines are really slow. And like even dreadnoughts can outrun most submarines. Depends on the spawn, yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, personally, right? Like what I would like to see when it comes to submarines is you actually give them the same BR as coastal vessels and you put them in the coastal tree. Oh, maybe not in the coastal tree. And just add submarines that have deck guns. So that way they can like just fight coastals and grind. You can grind their modules by just fighting with a deck gun. But then you're also free to just up-tier your own submarine and do whatever you want with it. And then if they're like suboptimal to use, not the game's problem because you are voluntarily up-tiering them. Or even lower, like let's say 2-0 to 4-0. Just so they fight coastals, to give them a coastal... Well, I'm not sure if they actually like shallow enough to get into most coastal spawns. But yeah, at least that's my idea. If this is actually going to happen or not, who knows. Big ol' open circle map, always great. I tend to wait to just see where our team spawns. It would be. But yeah, I really liked the submarine event in this November, or last November. And it was just a great event. Which I also have 2 live streams of, by the way. If people care to look far back enough in the channel. I think I played it pretty much the entire time it was up. It was really fun. That I don't like to see. Well. At least there are some cruisers coming to shoot. Shimakaze already doing Shimakaze things. And that's Helena just slammed on the brakes. It's actually Helena, yeah. The enemy battleships. That's a Mississippi, that's actually scary. And a Maria or Poltava. Which is not that scary. The Hood is a weird ship. I have it, I've played it a bit, but I don't really like it too much. The problem with a lot of the 15-inch gunships is that they're pretty inaccurate. And for some reason the Hood just... With a lot of British ships, their bridge just got knocked out immediately. So you're stuck with no control over the helm for like 30 plus seconds. And it also counts as one of your repairs, so if you're set on fire, the fire repair takes longer. I don't really like the Hood too much, but it does look really good. The Hood is a fantastic looking ship. And it feels nice to play. Well, I don't know, it's a fun ship to have and a fun ship to sail, but not a good ship. And I don't know how to describe the feeling I have over the Hood. Also, the British 15-inch gun turrets traverse really slowly. Also, I should be loading SAP for this cruiser, really, more than an AP. No. In general, if you have never played a battleship, I would never recommend you buy a battleship, because their gameplay is really slow and they're also not the most efficient to grind with, because of your lower rate of fire. When it comes to Japanese premiums, I would personally probably recommend Miyoko, as it is a pretty good heavy cruiser that is under BR. It should not be a 5.7, but as long as it is 5.7, you might as well use it. It is a bit fragile, as most Japanese cruisers are, but I definitely get Miyoko over Yamashiro. Although Yamashiro is not the worst premium battleship out there either. I'd still probably get Miyoko rather than Yamashiro. There we go, good solid hit. What I do kind of like when you get a destroyer in a match like this is just the size comparison between battleships and destroyers. And how often, like especially with World War I ships next to World War II destroyers, the size difference isn't really all that great. Well, in terms of like length. The PJ2 is also not the greatest. It is a bit hit or miss. It can be great, it can be absolutely awful. Personally, I'm a really big fan of the Japanese frigates, but they're also an acquired taste. But yeah. You also have to remember that buying a coastal premium only works if you want to get coastals. And whilst Japanese coastals are really good at top tier, like they're high tier coastals, I don't know. I'm not sure if I would really recommend buying coastal premiums unless you really know what you're doing. Because the problem I have, especially with high tier coastal premiums, is at the end of the day, you are a worse destroyer if you're buying a frigate. So you're gonna pay like top tier premium prices for a ship that quite likely is just going to get shat on by reserve destroyers. It's a bit, you know, I wouldn't quite recommend that. Yeah, I really should get rid of this ship. Also just spare it and be done with it, because its armor is just not good. Mississippi is not targeting me. I think the Fuso is in it. No, it's actually a Japanese light cruiser, okay. Although that Fuso does look, seem to be looking vaguely in my direction. Ah, yeah, if the PJ2 is not the worst cap point, because it is pretty quick. You do have to take into account though that there are people who bring coastals into top tier naval matches, just like you will be. And the PJ2 might just get shredded by the other top tier coastals. Especially stuff like PR206. Well, there is one point I do want to make about PJ2 though, is that there does exist a slight possibility it'll eventually get anti-ship missiles. Because it is a missile, like a missile boat. It just doesn't have its missile tubes modeled for some reason. There does exist a possibility that somewhere in the future it will have anti-ship missiles. don't know what exactly is shredding my turrets, but I really don't like it. But I think I found the culprit. And I'm already dead.
Somebody attack him!
Yeah, but that doesn't really mean anything. The permanent. Because that ship doesn't face anything naval yet.
Lower the lifeboat and the mast. Abandon ship. All hands, abandon ship.
Yep, let's just spawn into a backup.
All hands, abandon ship.
I really want to get rid of Colossus.
Action station, enemy spotted. Target identified. Battleship. 300, 7,000 meters.
Destroy the target.
E67. That's a rare sight. Not quite sure what I should shoot, really. Could go for the cruise from the back. I'll probably just shoot that cruiser. I'll load this up. Yeah, well, we probably will get it. I'm not quite sure what to think about modern carriers, because they're like jet aircraft carry some really nasty payloads. Especially with the number of jets some modern carriers can put up, that's a scary thought. We do already have pretty modern ships in game, although nothing like really modern.
Engines, 2/3.
Yeah, the thing is though, you shouldn't underestimate the Nelson and the KGV, because from what I've heard / read, the King George V class is one of the best protected battleships that ever existed, like second only to Yamato in terms of armor protection, which could be very interesting. And the Nelson is a very cool looking ship, at least to me. Yeah, Vanguard seems a bit lame to me as well. It's a bit of an interesting battleship. Well, it's gonna be US meta with quite a lot of Russian stuff, an inkling of British stuff, and then, yeah. Germany doesn't have much to offer, I think, when it comes to modern ships. Japan still has a fair few modern boats, I think. Britain will have a fair few. France probably has a fair few. I'm not actually too familiar with modern French Navy, even though we are neighbours. Italy actually has a fair few modern stuff. Whoop.
Enemy hit. Repair station. Critical miss port. Naval, hard apart.
Oh yeah, that's right, I do have a... Yeah, aircraft carrier, singular. Bismarck and Trips I don't really see the hype about too much. Because what it looks like is that they're just gonna be... With a bit of good luck, they'll be tanky as Scharnhorst with 15-inch guns. Although I don't think their hull shape will be quite as advantageous as Scharnhorst. Because another reason why Scharnhorst is so tanky is 1, great armor protection, 2, its hull is very low above the water. And I think Bismarck kind of negates that. The thing you probably want to look at most for Germany in the long run is going to be H-39. They're H-class battleships, which is just going to be a Bismarck with 16-inch guns. Well, as I just said, the H-39 could be an interesting one. Because to my knowledge they were laid down, so they, you know, they do meet the requirement for being added. Was that name actually given to those ships? I don't know. Was it one ship? Was it multiple? I really don't know too much about the H class. So yeah, that'll probably let's think about it. Hello. Trying to think. I'm seeing a plane fly past. An F6F with no payload. That's a bit suspicious. That's going to be a sinking ship by the looks of it. Ooh. Seems I've been neglecting my front. What's up? That is a Russian battleship shooting me. I don't think the Grosser Kurfürst historically would be the thing you see in World of Warships. I think. You know, on the subject of aircraft carriers from earlier, I would love to see the Graf Spee, only because of its funny launch catapults. Ah, Zeppelin, yeah. Whoops. Confused my German graphs. Yeah, Graf Zeppelin. I don't know why I thought of Spey for some reason. Just forgot about Zeppelin. I'm getting battered by battleships and I don't like it. And I'm missing my salvos on these really short-range cruisers. That fire's gonna be the end of me if I don't put it first, I think. Yeah. What am I losing my gun turrets to? I really don't know. Are they really that thinly armored that a light cruiser can take them out? Or the secondaries of a battleship? Oh, there's two of those Russian dreadnoughts shooting me. Great. Oh, did the Aquila also have funny catapults? I just know the German ones have the full-on cradle for its aircraft. At least all my gun turrets were loaded. There we go, good little solid hit into the engine. To kill. Possibly. There goes another 2 turrets. That ship's going down.
Target identified. Battleship.
I need to look more into those aircraft carriers, really. Our Scharnhorst never connected, did he? Well then. There we go, more of my turrets. I don't actually know anything about that ship. I definitely say that the American tree is better than the British one, because the British is just unendingly long. And their top tier ships for Britain currently aren't really that attractive. Then they're not that attractive for America either. But I think the Americans are definitely better. The thing though with both the British and the American tech is that both have pretty interesting future edition prospects.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Lower the lifeboats and the rafts. Abandon ship.
Ship's about to be scuttled, but that will give me a good excuse to play some 15-inch guns.
All hands, abandon ship.
I do have Glorious in his lineup.
All hands, abandon ship.
Cruiser! Ahead! 9,000 meters!
Action stations, enemy spotted.
This is such a weird ship. And sadly not the aircraft carrier. It is a very long ship.
8,000 meters!
I do find it funny that like in a short period of time we got let's say we got what's the word I'm looking for? Troll is a word you could use for it, I guess, with like 2 carrier adjacent ships. Like we have HMS Glorious, but in its large light cruiser configuration. And then we had the RN Aquila, but then that was just a World War I destroyer and not the carrier. I'm going to get nuked. Or not.
Let's keep the pressure on.
And there we go.
Victory is close.
The 15-inch guns are kind of inaccurate, but when they hit really hard.
Target identified. Light cruiser. 11,000 meters.
You see a Japanese boat is going for a torpedo attack. there.
Target identified.
Just gonna make sure. Oop. Nope. Time to switch to the sub.
Target identified. Heavy cruiser.
It seems somebody is angry at me detonating the battleship.
Enemy hit. Target identified.
The one kind of something interesting about this Glorious when fighting cruisers is that your 15-inch guns will actually just overpen cruisers. And it even tends to happen with the SAP.
Repair parties begin to...
I'm missing 15-inch guns at mine, no? They overpen because they hit too high. Secondaries are not always useful either. But the game's about to be over. So, to get back onto the overpenning of 15-inch guns. Unironically, the best target for Glorious to shoot at is a bow-in cruiser. Because your shells will just travel the entire length of the enemy ship and detonate near the end of it. Hello there, Black Tank. I'm in a bit of a mood to actually play my 15-inch ships after this. So I might as well do this match. Which isn't one yet, and this is my last spawn, so I do need to be careful. Yeah, I'm not that great at diving shells though. I don't think the castle would be all that great, to be honest. What is the 12-inch guns, for as far as I remember, what are actually the length of them? Let me just look at Mikasa ship. And that is some modifications done for Colossus. Actually getting closer to spading it, which is always lovely. But yeah, what guns did it have? Let's say which 40? Were they actually 40 caliber? That's pretty short, isn't it? I mean, the Japanese actually do have, you know, 2 pre-dreadnoughts with Kurama and Ikoma, and they're just not great. Anyways, back to Britain. And I'm probably gonna do 7-0. With the Hood. And why is the Renown not in this lineup? Because in the same spot as the attacker, that's why. Well, let's change that, because Dreadnought doesn't need to be in there. And we're gonna qualify the crew. And yeah, let's play some 15-inch guns whenever everybody's ready. Well, the problem I have with pre-dreadnoughts is that they're not fun to play either. Yes, because usually they're like with the Ikoma and Kurama, they're at 5-7, right? And they're okay-ish. But you just get melted by the superior firepower of most cruisers. Their superior rate of fire especially. And that makes pre-dreadnoughts kind of difficult to really have fun with. Because they just cannot perform with the later dreadnoughts and super dreadnoughts. But they also kind of can't perform with World War II. I noticed that. Pre-dreadnoughts also can't really compete with World War II cruisers. So it's... yeah, they're a bit difficult. We'll have to wait and see about the Yamatos. They're still quite a ways off, I think. Yeah. Well, kind of annoying part is that the Sovetskoye Soyuz is actually very likely to be added as well, because it did start construction. Yeah, we'll have to see. But I'm safe in the knowledge that my main nation will have the biggest guns of all. I am kind of curious. Was it a data mined? Was it? I don't remember it being data mined alongside Kron, because I still have the folder with all those data mines from like that leak 2 years ago now. Almost 3. I still have them, and I believe it was just it wasn't Soyuz, it was Stalingrad alongside the Kronstadt. Oh no.
Hold your helm.
Mutze.
Starboard your helm.
Steer starboard.
Not recently, no. Because the thing is, I'm in Japan, but I'm not a weeb, not in the traditional sense. I just like their boats, like their actual boats, not whatever they get turned into. Or not to the same degree, at least. There's a high shot.
Ahead! 10,000 meters!
Action station. Enemy spotted.
Helmet ships, high!
Yeah, Russia is kind of in an awkward spot that they didn't really have anything else before Soyuz. Except for, I think, like one older 14-inch battlecruiser. Or battleship, I'm not even too sure. For some reason my frame rates are not liking this. And me not having AP is not like I'm fighting at Mutsu either. I will not have any? No, I don't. battleships.
Target identified.
And there goes the Mutsu. Shot through the rear magazine. At least that's what I aim for. For Fuso, you want to aim for this 4th turret, at least that's what I do. It should be around there-ish.
Destroy the target!
I don't think we'll get Soyuz anytime soon. Because it definitely is something alongside like Iowas and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be too worried about it being added anytime soon either. Yep, Mutsu respawned.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Magazine to the front, will be 2 blips in front of the engines. We'll aim 2 blips in front of the lead indicator. We wait. And fire. Keep getting set on fire. Those shells are looking decent. And they were. It is one of my frustrations recently, having been playing more and more battleships, is that a Scharnhorst is not unkillable, you just have to shoot it over and over and over again. But people have just stopped shooting at Scharnhorsts altogether,
Destroy the target!
which means that yeah, that they'll never die because nobody shoots them. Like when I'm playing my Japanese battleships, or grinding my Japanese battleships, I've started going out of my way to focus Scharnhorsts first, and it is incredibly satisfying to just pummel a Scharnhorst to death. I think the other day, a week or so ago, I was playing EC again. I don't actually remember why, but I was playing EC again, and I think I killed the same Scharnhorst twice by just shooting it for 5 minutes straight. And eventually they'll sink. It does also, of course, help that I don't get targeted in return and there's only one Scharnhorst. Yeah, not even that, it's not them repairing or anything. Eventually you'll just get their crew. Especially with Japanese 14-inch guns, you'll just kill them. You'll knock out their main gun turrets, you'll knock out their engines even. You'll just get to them.
Damage control to repair parties. Pump out flooded compartments. Damage
Yeah,
control to stations.
I think Naval EC really is a bit of a missed opportunity with how it's implemented. I think it should be way closer to what Air Sim is in terms of like EC lobbies than what it is now. But oh well. Like I'm not the biggest fan of EC. Because it is basically a game where if you don't have any battleships, what's the point? Like the last time I played Naval EC, I managed to get into my Alaska like 5 minutes into the match and wrecked face. I think I got 50,000 or 46,000 damage in the DC match, and that was just nuts. Yeah, I could go into what I'd like to see for EC, but it would be a bit of a ramble, I think. There are 3 dots, 3 blips, there-ish. Let's check for the secondaries, if that's correct. That seems about right. Yeah, that'll be about right. A bit more forward, actually.
Attack him!
And there goes Mitsu.
Port your helm. Target identified. Battleship.
Bearing 160. 5,000 meters.
I think that's somebody in chat at the moment, so let's leave him. At least use my flu. As that is a juicy target.
Target identified. Battleship.
That's pretty good. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna try and show you when I get a lead again. Renown is such a cool ship, it really is. It's a bit of a shame how fragile it is. Oh god, my targets are being stolen. Let me just get the lead indicator again. And I'll show you. So you have these... Well, let me just get it here. Although I really do want to shoot as soon as I can.
Target identified. Battleship.
So the lead indicator, right, this triangle here, shows you where to aim to hit the middle of the ship. So that's the middle of the ship. I want to hit this turret, so that is a bit more than a blip. So a bit more than a blip on this side, and we fire. It's going to be a bit high actually for my purpose, but it will. But yeah, so just using this to aim at the middle, which is on Fuso is actually the smokestack. I know it's okay, so that's... This turret is 1 blip away from the smokestack. So it'll be 1 blip away from the center. These turrets are 1, 2, 3 blips away from the center, so if I do 1, 2, 3 blips away from the center, I'll hit the front turrets. And that basically works for everything like that. I know it's a bit of a rough explanation what I just did, but I am a bit under pressure at the moment. And that fuse is also not the best target to showcase it on, and I am just not hitting my wire on it. Or my... yeah, the belt is just eating all of it, I think. It's not something you usually have to do, that kind of aiming, but for when I want to hit like specific ammo racks, especially on battleships with long reload, it's something I always do. Of course, it is on Fuso, it is the case where I don't really have to deviate much from the center, so I can really showcase it. Should be around there-ish. Please don't hit my magazine. Luckily it's a Fuso that doesn't know where to aim. Well, this hasn't had any luck. I'm not having the best of luck either of my 15-inch guns. I think I should just go for a crew kill instead of an ammo detonation. Hello there, Trial. I'm doing just fine. As you can see, enjoying the British 15-inch guns. Are there more battleships out there? Not really. There's this Huygen. So again, middle of the ship. Turrets are 3 from the middle. We will wait for the ranging. Turrets are now 4 away from middle. So that should be around there-ish. Ah, a bit too far behind. Turn away though. The warning for patrol vessel and I don't like it. Okay, well, let's just put gunners on all targets and see what they do. So if that's middle of ship, turrets are 4 away again. I think right there. And there we go. HE managed to get through anyways. But Fuso needs to be dealt with. And I need to repair my anti-air guns. If I actually want anti-air protection.
Repair parties begin damage control. Helm, midship.
So the entirety of the ship is currently in 2.5-ish. But the middle turret is just around about where I want to hit. It's around there-ish. Let's see what happens. He does look a little bit worse for wear. And there goes another good old salve on the Fuso. Just having a blast. Only 217, but another fun part about the Renown is just the sheer amount of anti-air guns. Well, let's actually relinquish control of the secondary so they can shoot him up as well. There we go, slaps the wing off. Oh, you got the torpedo by coastal, that's kind of terrifying. I think we've dealt with the enemy battleships. Yeah, the JDS Ayanami is a fun one, isn't it?
Starboard your helm.
That is, JDS Ayanami is one of my like try-hard ships to play when doing naval events. The thing is though, this really we've been rocking them somehow. Did they just fail to detonate our Renowns? Because their magazines are actually quite vulnerable. As you can see, mine are actually pretty damaged already. Yeah. What was it? I'm sorry. Just been shooting any battleship I see. Or any ship I see at this point. Although we really should be moving towards a convoy. It might be. It might be fun enough to talisman. It is the thing that, again, a competent battleship player would just detonate you in one shot. Because I don't know if you were here to see it, but there was an enemy Renown on the enemy team. And I detonated him in one salvo. Then again, I've also been detonating Fusos, but... a Hugo. Oh, now that's just tempting fate bow tanking in a Hugo, isn't it? Oh. Just there we go. Yeah, the wreck is doing funny things. And there we go. Somewhere hit 140, managed to hit my ammo. And that Hugo got detonated shortly after as well. But now, Hood.
All hands, abandon ship.
I think Renown being an event vehicle and that's not having a tactical counterpart is just criminal as well. Also, I've got this snazzy razzle dazzle camo on the hood on the wharf and alive, and it's just, I like it.
Enemy spotted. Helm, hard aport. Hard aport, hard. Helm, midship. Helm, midships, hard.
It is a shame though that the unrotated projectile launchers don't work on hood. But yeah. One day, maybe. Yeah, I had a good run of the Renown. I think that is the AI engine for the convoy. Okay. There's tons and tons of tracers up in the air there. Yeah, that would be nice as well. Get the quad pom-pom mounts instead. Also, the 15-inch guns sound meaty. Because when they introduced Mutsu, they changed the gun sound for the well, they added a new gun sound for the 16-inch guns, and changed the 15-inch guns to the same sound. Thank you, Tyrael. But I also do want to mention that you don't have to feel pressure to subscribe to me or anything. This is just a hobby of mine. But my higher subscriber numbers might guilt me into making videos quicker, I guess. And at the same time, Commander Tyrael is also a pretty good War Thunder Naval YouTube channel if you want to try and watch him. And he makes a lot more content more frequently than I do, that's for sure. What is that in front of me? Let's not shoot Yalwyn. That's a bit cruel. Yeah, the hood is this fantastic looking ship.
Aboard your helm.
I really like this camo for it as well. Going on War Thunder Live for camos is always great.
Mission completed.
There we go, mission done. There should be a decent chunk of research points towards my renown. A decent chunk of SL as usual. Almost good FPE for my renown. Almost. Well, I'm glad to have you. And I do usually stream every week at this time on Saturday. Although I do only put on the stream quite late in the day. I really should be putting them up earlier in the day than I do. But yeah. Harana is pretty good. Actually, let me... How expensive is Harana nowadays? Because Harana is a ship I've put a talisman on and I don't regret it. It's a really great battle cruiser. For 48 is a bit pricey, for my opinion. What I mean... If you have the choice between getting Harana with a talisman or Yamashiro, I would probably go for Harana. Good evening, Fritz. Miyoko's quite good. A bit fragile, but... Miyoko, honestly, should not be a 5.7. It is wild that it's still a 5.7. How it isn't a 6.0 is beyond me, but yeah. Miyoko's is fun. It's also good looking. It's a really nice looking cruiser. I like those rounded 203 turrets for Japan. Yeah, Phoenix about that. I said it earlier this stream, but yeah, failure. So the video project turned out fantastic. I gathered all the replays for that. The video was done, but I rolled the dice on the copyright system, and I rolled snake eyes. So that video sadly will never see the light of day. Yeah, no, I can tell you what it is. It was basically going to be a naval like compilation / trailer to the soundtrack Radar Love by Golden Earring. And I know it's a copyrighted song. I know it is. And I'm fine with not being monetized, but the problem is that that song in particular is blocked from like being used in videos, period. So yeah, that video project just got torpedoed. It was a really great video though, I was really happy with how it turned out. But yeah. Oh well. And the problem with that video as well is I scrambled because I noticed, oh boy, I can't upload it. And I was originally intending to upload it for a video contest on War Thunder Live. The things I'm not a musical talent at all. Like I don't really, I wouldn't want to do that. Yes, it also works on non-public videos. It is genuinely blocked from view. Like even if I unlist it, even if I private it and send people the link, they can't see it. Believe me, I've already tried. But yeah. It is 2.5 gigabytes large. I can't upload it to Discord in one piece. The one way I can do it is go through like a somewhat sketchy site that allows you to upload big files and gets a link. And if people click on the link, they can download it. I should probably put it on Google Drive, really, so people have a chance to watch it. It will take a lot of storage space on my Google Drive, though. But you know what? I'll do that as soon as the stream's done. Because really, I would like people to see it. But I cannot submit it to the War Thunder contest if it isn't on, what was it, YouTube, Vimeo, or Cube, or however you pronounce that. But yeah, I'll do it in Google Drive. And I might... I'm not sure if I can share a... Could I technically then make a post with that Google Drive link so people can watch it through there? But isn't that a bit... I'm not sure if it like violates some YouTube guideline or not. Oh, the YouTube has an entire library of music as well. But the thing is, I made that video specifically to that song, so I can't just remove the music and add other music to it. It wouldn't work. So yeah. Ooh. That's nice, but it's fine. I don't really use music in my normal videos. Well, other than War Thunder music. But if I have a future project, I might have to message you again, Tyriel. Because I was really happy with how the video turned out. Very well. Yeah, I'll get it on a. I'll put it on my Google Drive. I'll put a link to it on at least my Discord. And I'll ping it as well. I'll ping the notification squad rule for it. I'm not sure how, if I can make a YouTube post with that link, because that seems a bit weird. And I don't think it's technically allowed either. I'll have to read into the Google Terms of Service again. The YouTube Terms of Service again to see if that works or not. Maybe. I'll, you know what, Tyriel? I'll upload it to Google Drive. I'll send it to you. I'll send the link to you, and you'll see if you can work something out with that, because, yeah. I don't think there is a way to really fix it, because again, I made the visuals specifically to match the music. So yeah. Again, it is. I know there is different music I can use. There is even a song I could have used in the free-to-use YouTube library, but it was too late when I thought about it. And by this point, I've spent 2.5 weeks making that video, and it's just, yeah. Also, yes, classical music is a thing. The music isn't copyrighted. The performance is. the performance of classical music is copyrighted. So like if a specific orchestra performed a song, that is copyrighted. But your performance of that song wouldn't be. Or if somebody makes a performance of that song and doesn't make it copyrighted, that wouldn't be either. But yeah, that is something you should be careful about as well, classical music. But yeah, Wild Viking, it took me in total 2.5 weeks. The song, I think, took me 2 days to really get a song I wanted to use, which was Radar Love by the Golden Earring. And then it took me 2.5 weeks to just play the sheer amount of matches to get the replays. Because I think in total, by when the video was done, it was 117 clips, all of which were it was 117 clips, which I specifically tried to have a different vehicle in each of the clips. So yeah. Nah, don't worry. It's fine. Again, I'll do as people suggested. I'll put it on Google Drive. I'll put it on my server, and people will find it through that. The thing is, I will say it was a very good exercise for me for trying to do cinematic stuff, because it is an area of video making I kind of want to get into more, but I still have much to learn. Because my camera work is still very rudimentary. But I did have a very good time making that video. I'm very proud of it. So yeah, I'll definitely put it in Google Drive so people can watch it. Although I think that Warzone Live video goes until tomorrow. I'm not sure if I will. Nah, I can't submit it. It's not within the format of that contest. Oh well. No use crying over spilled milk. I see a bunch of matches in game I didn't notice. No, I did notice them. Or was it? Oh yeah, there is oh, what is it? I don't know how many of you remember the old hangar music for War Thunder, which is also a classical music of some sort. I forgot the name of it, but I at one point had a sound mod that made the hangar music the old hangar music again, and I once recorded like a player run, what is it called, battle station specific like game mode, and I remember I had that hangar music. And I recorded the video purely for myself as like, this is a memento, this is like to be remembered, just to have footage of it. And that video also got copyright struck with that classical music in it. So yeah, you will get copyright struck for classical music. Just because it gets performed by an orchestra and they copyright it. Which is a bit, but well. Nothing I can do. It did actually make me look into how long copyrights last. Because the song I used, again, Radar Love by Golden Earring, which is, I like that song a lot, is like 50 years old, like 51 years old. It's from 73. And that made me look into like, how long does copyright actually last? It is the lifetime of the writer plus 70 years. So basically, even if, let's say I would publish that video after the copyright expired, I'm not even entirely sure if I would still be alive if the copyright on that song expired. So yeah, which is kind of wild for a song from 73. Yeah, I do have a flight stick myself, and I've been very tempted to use it for camera work as well. I was lucky that for my video project, that I'll share sometime soon, used a lot of short clips, so I didn't need to do a lot of dynamic camera work. But I definitely need to. The thing is, cinematic camera work for naval is not the easiest either, because you don't have a lot of camera angles to work with that look good. At least not compared to like air and ground, where you have a bit of like negative, like in aircraft you can be below the aircraft, and in ground to a certain degree, depending on like hills and stuff, you can be below the tank you're trying to shoot. But for naval you can't. You can't be like below the ship. And that's definitely a bit of a learning curve as well. Yeah, that is, yeah, that's the one. You know, I'm gonna leave cinematics a bit on the back burner for now, because 2.5 weeks of flop basically has burned me out on that concept for a while. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I need to think about what I would want to make a cinematic of. Yeah, actually, no, I know exactly what I want to try and do, but that's going to be a very ambitious project. I would love to have some cooperation for that. Like, for this video contest, I had 2 ideas. One was just make a general naval trailer, which is what I made, or a naval compilation. The second one, which I would love to do, is remake the original Knights of the Sea trailer for War Thunder. I think that would be amazing to try and recreate, but also rather difficult. Well, for one, we don't have a Bismarck yet, but you know, I think as soon as we get Bismarck, we should really try and remake that trailer, because that would be a very fun project. I think, tedious but very fun. Yeah, exactly. There are definitely some good shots you could make with underwater cameras, like of torpedoes, of propellers. Yeah. You could, during the... Yeah, you've been in the queue for a while. But that's the fun part when you're streaming, is then I can just talk to you all. During the submarine event, you could kind of cheese the camera underwater with NVIDIA Ansel, which is how a buddy of mine got some really good submarine screenshots. But yeah, otherwise you can't do... You know what my record is? But that was... I kind of cheesed my record queue time. Because in the past, if you had a 7.0 lineup and you brought a 7.3 aircraft, you would never find a match. So purely for academic reasons, I once put myself into that queue, so 7.0 lineup with 7.3 aircraft. And my record is 4 hours, until I got bored and actually played a match. I think I've got a screenshot of like this 3-hour mark somewhere on my Discord. But yeah, I would definitely love to recreate the Knights of the Sea trailer, but we have to wait for Bismarck, basically. Yeah. Yeah, that is the magic of playing top tier in a squad. I've also, you know, that is another idea I've had, is, you know how I do these, I do ship reviews, right? And I really should do more, I'm well aware. And oops, somebody left. This was going to be Nord, I think. Probably going to be too late for him to play now. Oh, let's continue. So I have these review, and I put them in their own playlists by nation, right? I've had the idea of to just make like a little nation trailer for each nation to put as the first video in those playlists. The only problem I have with those is that those videos will get outdated as more and more ships get added. I would. The only problem is that my phone can't really run War Thunder Mobile too well, and I don't have an emulator for War Thunder Mobile. At least not one that works. Anyways, we found a match. Let's play a Hood first spawn. Oh no, he's on the enemy team. We will spare you for your sacrifice in queue time, sus.
To battle stations.
We will spare you.
Flank speed. Collision alert.
Kind of, but also just like a cinematic, like a little trailer. Because I do I find it difficult to describe an entire nation's playstyle. Because you can generalize nations into like, oh yeah, the destroyers play like this, cruisers do like this. But I don't know. I don't really like describing nations like that because there are always outliers to those playstyles. Just waiting for the rear turrets to get in line. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Should die. Damn. That Yamashita is begging to get detonated, so I think I'll shoot him first. Get my range, there it is. That was definitely not enough lead. Yeah, the thing is as well with Naval is that you don't have many big YouTubers really playing it. It's because I don't really even really know why people are so turned off by Naval. It's become a running joke that ooh, nobody plays Naval, but I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it became because of pre-split you had to go through coastal and nobody cared about coastals. But then I don't know why people don't have an interest in it now, or just don't really tend to learn how to play it. Like, you'll have the European Canadian plays a bit of Naval, but to be honest, he's not the greatest at it. And his takes are a bit hit or miss. You have Dollar plays a bit of Naval, and nice and all. And it's definitely great that he does. Like, other than that, do you have any big YouTubers that really play Naval? I don't think you do. There goes Yamashita. Yeah, I guess. It is a lot slower. It is definitely a lot slower than ground or air at these BRs. The thing is, like, you can get some very intense fighting at the lower BRs, like with 4.7. In my opinion, is like a sweet spot for destroyer battles. And even Battleship gameplay can get pretty hectic if in certain circumstances. Those people don't really play Naval, is what I usually find. If people say, oh, Naval's bad, they don't usually play it. We all still remember the Great Bot Infestation, I'm glad it's gone. How long did the bot pandemic last? 2 years? Year and a half? And there goes Mississippi, that's why you don't show broadside in a battleship. That has exposed magazines. Is that another Yamashiro I see? I think my suppler goes through at that angle.
Direct hit! Engines, all stop!
Yeah, I don't know. It's been so long that I don't really remember just how painful the red bug was, but that was special, that's for sure. Yamashiro has shown broadside, and is he going to get punished for it? Yes, he is. Oh, the fact that the bot pandemic has gone through several waves and that you can like distinguish the eras of them is wild. Oh, it's really done. Yeah. Luckily I haven't gotten too many of comments like that on my channel, but that does drive me mad. Because I mean it is only a half-filled match, but at the same time it is top tier, quote unquote. And yeah. There is definitely a lesser number of players that play Naval and do air ground. But it doesn't mean it's like a bad game mode. I say as I've detonated 4 battleships until now. But yeah. Was he? He wasn't the Yamashiro, the Arkansas. Okay. Start preparing. Yeah, no, the nobody plays Naval or oh, this is fun for the 4 Naval players jokes are getting really old by now. Like, I don't know if any of you have noticed, but every update a leak list rolled around, with like what kind of vehicles are coming that update. I don't know how many of you have noticed, but for this update and the previous update, they haven't included any naval vessels. So it's just like, okay, we're so forgotten about that even the leakers don't want to post what ships are coming. It's just it's a little bit depressing. Only a little. Yeah. I've gotten to the point where RRB I just can't enjoy it because yeah, you spend like 5 minutes to set up. And then there's a very high possibility you'll just get killed outright in RRB, and I don't enjoy that. So what I've been doing when I play RRB, which I still do rarely, is I just say, fuck it, I don't care about enemy fighters, I'll just do whatever I want. I'll go for ground targets, I'll go for AIs, I don't care about the meta for air realistic battles. And I've been enjoying that much more. Just climbing to altitude and trying to outfight people at altitude.
Need cover.
Why am I still repairing? Let's stop that. Also, I have noticed that there's a Scharnhorst just sitting there, which is a bit scary. At the same time, I don't want to think about it, Scharnhorst.
Take him down.
That's an SKR. That's an AI SKR, but SKR is not allowed to live.
Fire on the enemy ship.
Yeah, I think
Light cruiser. Bearing.
that's not a Scharnhorst.
5,000 meters.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
The thing is, there are definitely still flaws with War Thunder Naval,
5,000 meters.
and I think I would love to make a video like that at one point as well, to just like sum up like this is what I think is wrong with War Thunder Naval.
Capture the zone.
Because definitely there definitely are flaws, but it's not that bad as people think it is. Now,
Down!
can I detonate the Scharnhorst? Because I think theoretically I can. Map design is definitely one of the flaws for Naval from time to time. Especially with how things like maps like this were designed when our biggest ships were like 5.0 light cruisers. And these maps work for 5.0 light cruisers. Above it. Oh wait, that is you, isn't it? Oh no.
Attack the enemy!
I have now angered the Scharnhorst. Yeah, definitely. Like I've played World of Warships a fair bit myself, although I've never reached tier 10 in that game. I don't know, it just frustrates me, World of Warships. Like, I don't like the spotting system. I don't like it. I don't like all the modules you can put on ships afterwards, like, and all the combinations of builds. Confuses me.
Just keep it up and victory will be ours.
Oh, that's a torpedo. A Scharnhorst torpedo of all things. Well,
All hands, abandon.
we have a destroyer on sea. All the AI is moving to intercept it.
Allied
Yeah.
forces have captured a zone.
And the thing is, like, they don't really take the piss out of sim players, but they don't respect the game mode either. Like, how many times have you noticed when an air event rolls around that people just abuse air sim? Like with PvE matches and doing rocket strafing runs on airfields over and over and over again, without actually like playing sim, just trying to grind score instead. And because I know a fair few sim people that are not happy about those players. Especially the PvE crowd. I think AirSim used to have a big botting problem as well, with bots going to airfields to rocket strafe it. And bombs away.
Let's keep the pressure
Looking good.
on. Victory is close.
And that Scharnhorst. You'll love it. Let's head back to the airfield. Exactly. I do actually quite like using this jet for British top tier. One, because it's a naval jet and I always like to use naval aircraft for my naval lineups. And 2 because 2 1,000 pounders, you can't go wrong with them. Yeah. It's always... What is the saying again? One rotten apple spoils the whole batch, or something like that? Because we also remember the time where AI gunners could use the main guns on ships. And then people started to AFK in Helenas using the AI gunners to try and hit stuff, even though they're incredibly inaccurate. And then they removed that ability. And now anti-air ships that use their main guns as anti-aircraft guns can no longer use them under AI control. So that is just a lot of crying Helenas and Akazukis. You know, I think I actually spaded the attacker in Sim. Now that I just think back of it, because I've gone through a period of actually like playing Sim quite a bit to grind jets. Because Sim is a lot of fun compared to how sweaty like early jets can be for NRB. I think I spaded the attacker in Sim. And I'm not too sure. Also, I'm getting quite close to Orion. Also, yeah, what is it? The F3D for America is a pretty good jet. Although I don't have American jets. Probably something I should work on at some point. South Kvarken. Ah, yeah, those ones. The thing is, I'm not a great sim pilot at all. I can't keep my gunsight steady for the life of me. What I loved flying though in sim was the A6 Intruder. I bought it because I think it's a cool jet, and I like naval jets. And I actually really enjoy flying that thing in sim. I don't know, flying like an actual just bomb truck in sim can be really fun. Yep. What do we do for Sus Nord on the enemy team? Once again. Yeah, like I definitely also think that bombers in sim are way more fun than RB. Although I do have a little, well, I wouldn't say trick. I do have a strategy when it comes to bombers in sim. It makes me usually get to a bombing point. Oh, there's a. I'm not sure if you're part of those communities as well. Trial of crabs and Wingeling Dragon. They host sim events like every weekend, and I usually partake in the naval-oriented ones or naval aircraft ones. Man, carrier landing in sim is something else. I have gotten the hang of it though. I'm starting to get the hang of it, and it's really fun. Although I don't really have the most desk space for a full sim setup. I think that'll be an investment for a future time. So I did see a crunched over there and I want to kill it. There it is. Behind the mountain. I think, what is it, tomorrow they have a sim event with swordfish. I might actually take out my sim setup again for that, because I think it's gonna be fun, swordfish and sim. Yeah. Yeah, they host a lot of sim events and they're always pretty good.
Battle cruiser.
Although their time zones can be a bit funky. Although they've adjusted them and they're pretty good now for me.
Take him
I think they're a
down.
bit early for you, Tyrael. Or late. I always forget if you're like ahead by a ton or behind by a ton from my time zone. My gun's the wrong side, but it will. We'll keep on pushing. Yeah.
Starboard your helm.
Yeah, that's always an awkward one for me as well, is if they do events on Sunday evening. Because that's... I have work the next day and I need to be in bed by like 10. But their events I think start at 5, their early one, and then at 9 their late one. I can't participate in the 9 one, but yeah. 10 hours, yeah, then they'll be... it's 7, it's 5, yeah. They'll be like in the middle of the night for you, or like early in the morning.
9,000 meters. Target identified. Battleship. Direct hit. Hard starboard, aye.
Actually, if it's... Yeah, if the 9, so my time 9 PM should be 7 o'clock in the morning for you, which is, that's an early time. That's the late event one. The other one is 4 hours ahead of that, so that'll be like 3 AM your time. But yeah, that is just the magic of time zones, I guess. Gets a bit awkward if you're trying to get an Australian, an American, and a European in like the same event.
The enemy is winning.
I'm going to manually control my secondaries for that one.
Engine. All stop.
Let's see, ammo is 3 dots. I am indeed European. I am Belgian. Sumer's got away, but that Mikuma isn't. I do not have my Belgian flag on my hood. That is a scary place for North to have been creeping up on. I think I need to get some engine upgrades on the hood, because it really does not like changing speed.
Attention to the designated grid square.
When a Japanese cruiser turns broadside, it usually means it's trying to line up a torpedo run. We'll get this solid bit of land in between us and it. There go the torpedoes. No, please. Although there are worse YouTubers to compare me to, that's for sure. Yeah, again, my streams are usually this time every week. Unless something comes up in which I'm not available during like 10 PM. They usually am. And it's usually just on Saturday. Because on Friday I do have something else to do on the evenings. And on Sunday and weekday evenings I need to go to bed early for work. So usually just Saturday night is when I stream.
Firefighting crews. Control burning compartments. Direct hit.
Yeah, currently it is 0:37 Sunday for me as well. We're in the same time zone. It is just that, yeah. I have chosen to go deep into the night when it comes to my weekends. Although probably not... I think like the longest I stream for is just 4 hours. So another hour and a half, but I think I'm not gonna reach that. If I get Orion, I'm probably gonna call it a night. If I get Orion.
Engine, flank speed.
Where is that? Still in spawn, okay.
Somebody attack him.
He's bowing to me, that's good to know.
Destroyer! Ahead! 3,000 meters!
My guns are still turning, there they are. And we rip a salvo of 15-inch guns towards the crunch dot. Let's see what happens. Yeah, mediocre hit. Well, no, because this is only visible from my point of view, sadly. And seeing as I literally took a torpedo last game, it definitely hasn't saved me yet.
Repair party. Compound flooded compartment.
I just like the look of this camo on the hood. And again, it's a camo you can freely get on War Thunder Live. That's actually the interesting part. You know all the camo loot boxes you can get? All of those camos you can download for free on War Thunder Live. Of course, that does mean that only you can see the camos and none of the other players can. But at the same time, Camo and Naval doesn't really do anything other than make your own ship look pretty to you. So yeah. E13. We sank the Makuma, didn't we? So what is that? What is that from? Oh, I don't know. Well, let's ignore the hard enough for the time being. And sink this Iron Duke.
Damage control to repair parties. Compound flooded compartment. Enemy listening and losing speed.
Exactly.
Repair parties begin damage
The
control.
rule of cool does apply to ship camos as well. Yeah, there are some good looking like ship skins in World of Warships, I think. But a lot of them are kind of whack.
Hell, hard port.
Hard port, aye! Battle cruiser! Ahead! 7,000 meters!
That's a Scharnhorst. There's our friend in a Scharnhorst.
Port your helm.
Aye! Steer port!
I really want to sink the crunch that.
Target identified. Battle cruiser.
Bearing 280, 7,000 meters.
Oh yeah, as a Japanese main still, I really love their second unlockable camo. I'll show it to you after this match if I remember. But I really love it. I love the look on it on the cruisers and battleships. Weather change, so there goes my frames. Oh, didn't notice this Tashkent sneaking through.
Somebody attack him!
Those shells seem to be coming from the crunch dot, unless I'm mistaken. Seems I was mistaken.
Ahead! 6,000 meters!
Destroy the target!
Target identified. Destroyer.
Premature for a collision warning, but well. What is spam shooting me? It is not an AI, that's a playing battle class, okay. Now what's the battle again with the turret in the middle? Keep swinging my turrets around, and that's really not a good idea on these 15-inch guns. And there's an aircraft about to dive on me, I think, yep. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll do to them what they did to me. We'll go, try and go for the... I forgot it was cloudy. Well, I'll just fly over, find a target and see what it can do.
Somebody attack him!
There's quite a few marks at the moment, so... I think, is that is the Congo over there. You can see the pagoda on it, I think. And I think I vaguely remember it being over there. Is that the Congo? That might actually be the crunch and that the Congo. Let's go and investigate.
Take him down.
It's 4 clusters. So that'll be the Congo, because the cruncher doesn't have 4 turrets, obviously. But it doesn't look... Is it a crumb? Can't tell. I don't have visual on what I assume to be the... no, it's over there. What's that then? That's definitely the Congo. Is that the Scharnhorst? It is a shame that the EC we got wasn't the hybrid carrier. Genuinely. Okay, that I think that's our friendly in the Scharnhorst, because he's showing me that he's you know what, let's go for the Congo instead then. Because I think he's in a difficult position to dethrone him. The problem is that the Congo has a lot, and I do mean a lot, of 25 mils. Let's go for the front turret cluster. There go the anti-air guns. Let's drop our bombs from up here and get out of dodge. On target? Nope, over target. And it did nothing. Yeah, well. It's close enough, really. Yeah, I need to get better about dive bombing without a bomb site. Airfield's over here. Yeah, I think... coming back to the question about the battle carrier Ise / Yuga, I genuinely think they should have added those to test carriers. Because I don't think there's a better ship platform to test out aircraft carriers than those ships. Because if it doesn't work out, they're still just battleships. Don't rip. Yeah, 5-400 could also work. But it could, but it also couldn't. The same reason why the ESIG could and couldn't work. Because it would be an excellent platform to like test the AI handling stuff of aircraft of, like how to launch them and how to organize the strikes. But what you wouldn't get is how to do like the deck like the deck management when it comes to aircraft carriers, when it comes to launching and retrieving, when it comes to organizing strikes. I think that's something you wouldn't have with the EC and or I-400, because they all just carry the same aircraft that get launched and then recovered via float plane, if recovered at all. But there still would be good test beds for the like AI functionality of aircraft, I think. Especially the EC, because let's say you do a test run of them, right? And then you remove the ability, they're still just battleships. And funky looking ones at that. And I would love to see the EC as well, because they have anti-air rockets. Not quite the unrotated projectiles, but just, you know, HGTF rockets. To accelerate this thing and climb again.
Destroy the target.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think as well about the EC and Hugo. Is that you could just use them as test beds for however long you want to. And if they're not used as test bed, let's say like a break in between two tests, you still have two interesting battleships. Or one interesting battleship. Shinano is a bit weird because did it ever really carry a combat like amount of aircraft? I mean, well, a lot of the late war Japanese carriers didn't carry a full complement of aircraft. But I don't see any reason why you wouldn't get Shinano. Although at the same time I would love to see a Yamato class with the 100mm secondaries instead of the 127s. Because I really like those 100mm as anti-aircraft guns. Trying to see if they have any tough targets inside of the cap, and I think I see a lone battleship over there. It seems ripe to strike, and I think that's an early battleship as well with little AA. There's too much AA in that area for me to get close to it.
Launching an attack.
And you have our buddy on the Scharnhorst, but he's currently not in the cap, so he's not a priority. I know that Shinano wasn't really finished. Like, the Shinano is like, oh, converted Yamato and all. But I'd rather see like the other late Japanese carriers, like the Junyo and the... Oh, I forgot their name. Ikoma? Was it like an Ikoma class? Or is it also just Junyo? I don't remember. That is an Iron Duke, I think. Very little AA, which means I can get in nice and close, unless I get slapped by a 4-inch gun. And drop the payload. No kill, they hit the deck. I wanted them to be in the water, but they won't. Staying this long in his aircraft probably isn't the best way to grind for the Orion, but oh well. Having some fun with my naval aircraft. And past to Congo we go. Even though the frame rate did die a little. I think somebody in a premium battleship got mad they got sunk by a battleship. No. I know there was at least one aircraft carrier that was also named Ikoma, but I know that the Ibuki got changed into an aircraft carrier. I forgot the actual English word for that. Converted. Taiho, of course. Japanese armored carrier, I believe. I think. Yeah, I'd love to see Japanese carriers, obviously. Also because there's surprisingly many of them. Not many of them really served during the war, but there were quite a few of them. If there's one Japanese carrier I'd love to see, it's just the Ryujo, because I don't know, it's a funky looking carrier. It's their little loophole, well, trying to get a loophole carrier. Oh well. Well, the thing is that the usual would have been... The loophole that the usual was trying to exploit got closed in the London Treaty. It didn't really matter anyways, and it didn't get underneath 10,000 tons. Anyways, so it didn't even matter. I'd love to see carriers. Even if they weren't really all that good in normal matches because of spawn points or whatever else, they'd be so good for custom battles. Custom battles for events, for anything like that. Yeah, a chunk towards Orion. Do I really need the AP on 15-inch guns? Not really. It can be useful in like some situations, but I'm fine with just a sub for now, so let's just go for speed first. I think I'll just play one more match. You know what? I'll play one more match at 6. No, I'll just play 7-0 still. But I'll spawn Iron Duke first. Well, that wasn't the point to the naval treaties to just try and, like, not get an arms race that will bankrupt countries. I think that was, like, the gist of it, so, like, to just tone down an arms race, so that countries would just bankrupt themselves. I'm not entirely sure, I'm not too familiar with the treaties myself. I have once actually tried reading through them, but man, trying to read through a legal document from the 20s is not easy. At least not easy for me. Ooh, yes, sorry, I completely forgot. Thank you for reminding. I think I have no nieces, don't I? Yeah, I like this camo a lot. And what I like to do with this camo is you can just adjust, although I haven't adjusted it for this one. But with the scaling you can adjust which colors like are predominant. Like here's more green than yellow. And of course if you rotate it, that's condition, let's do maximum. If you rotate it, you know, I like this camo a lot. And you can do it really small and you have just this weirdness. Really big, and then you just really big blotches of color. But I just like it default. I think that it's just 100. Condition can stay where it is, and then that. But I think for my Agano it's slightly different. In my Agano I adjusted it a bit to scaling. But no, I just like it camo. Makes ships look really different. The thing is, there are skins though where you can't really change the rotation or anything like that. Which is a bit of a shame. But well. You know what? I'll share you some cursed information whilst I'm in the hangar at the moment anyways. Let's go to, let's say, the Zara. And I'll show you something cursed. So, a famous thing about the Italian ships is this candy cane bow, as we call it, right? It's for aerial identification. It is cursed. It is incredibly cursed that you can adjust it. And it is just... yeah. Do with this information what you will, but it is cursed. It basically means that if you actually like that candy cane, you can never adjust the camo in any of your Italian cruisers or ships of any candy cane bow, really. But yeah, that's that. Back to 7-0 we go. Oh, immediately found a match. Same map though, which is a bit boring. I guess we'll go the same way. Should be fine for the last match of the night.
Action stations, man your posts. Engines, flank speed.
There's a bit of a funny story about this particular ship of mine actually. Because I won the Iron Duke in a tournament. Was it
aboard your helmet.
Yeah, it was this year's anniversary tournament. Like when War Thunder does their anniversary, they host a bunch of tournaments, including a naval one. And I do actually have a team of a few buddies of mine that play naval tournaments. And we won that tournament. Like, we got first place. And first prize, like the prize for first place
Action station
was Yamashiro,
spotted.
Destroy the target.
which, funny enough, it was also the update that Yamashiro came out, I think. And I bought Yamashiro right off the bat. Because I collect all Japanese ships, so I bought the €70 Yamashiro right off the bat. Only to then, 2 weeks later, win it in a tournament. So that was slightly annoying. But luckily enough, we were allowed to change our tournament winnings, so I got Iron Duke instead. But yeah, it does basically mean that I spent 70 euros on a premium, even though I could have earned it for free by winning the tournament. But you can't really predict winning a tournament, can you? Oh, that's an enemy Mississippi. Got locked onto for like a few seconds. That naval tournament was a lot of fun though. That is also something I've once thought about making a video on, is a naval tournament. The problem is you can't live stream a tournament for obvious reasons. And making a video on a tournament is not easy. Alright. Have a good night, Tyrael, and thank you for dropping by. And I'll be sure to ping you specifically as well when I upload a video to Google Drive. If you don't mind. Alrighty. Yeah, that is usually what happens to pack premiums, that after a while they come back as G premiums, but it can be a fair while. Like the French cruiser de Guetrouin, if I pronounce it even vaguely correctly, came back as a 1,600 GE premium, which is actually pretty cheap, because the original pack for it was 45 euros. Of course, that came with the closed beta testing access for French Naval. But yeah, going from 45 euros to 1,600 GE, which I think is like 12 euros, is a considerable drop in price.
Battleship, ahead! 12,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
Yamashiro.
11,000 meters.
You know what to do about Yamashiros. Actually, that is a Yamashiro, okay.
Starboard your helmet.
For a second I thought it was a Hyuga. Slow British turret reverse still messing with me. Just want to get all guns on target.
Collision alert.
Kill. And we keep going. Salvo's looking decent. Bit low? Nope. So I managed to not detonate the Yamashiro I was shooting at. Whoops. Those are always the best kind of detonations. Detonations of targets you weren't even aiming for. Let's see what this salvo does.
Our victory is near.
Exactly. Suffering from success. Or Mississippi. I like the Mississippi. It's a really fun looking ship.
Shells on target.
It looks really good. And good guns as well, but yeah, then he also laughed. No, I feel so bad. Am I should have unleashed a volley against me? Overshot. Might have actually been able to team my rats instead.
Port your helm.
It seems my guns are not panning. Whether they're bouncing with the water and then hitting it afterwards, I'm not sure. Okay, E13.
Thank you.
I feel really bad for Mississippi now. Man's just wanted to play a school battleship. Got that night and immediately instead.
Collision. Alert.
Is that not enough lead? Yeah, a bit short. A bit too much to the left.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
There's a landmass blocking that renown. Well, I'll be glad to have you, and if you can't join me next week, don't feel guilty about it. It was nice having a chat with somebody as well. So yeah, I'll see you around. Oh boy. Violent detonation of the Wyoming next to me. Might mean I'm next. Let's shoot at this Russian dreadnought first. Have to know where this. Oh, of course, Harden's going to be over there. The slope wind's over there.
Battleship.
There goes a Maria. Okay, those shells ricocheted. That was lovely. It seems Renown isn't done with me yet. If I keep going forward, I can use this island as cover. I didn't really want the turn to use that. I wanted to hit them right now, but oh well. I think I might have actually gotten a secondary magazine. Although by the looks of it, I didn't. Can't get a lock on him either.
Target identified. Light cruiser.
There. 9,000 meters.
Damage control to station. Full stop.
Keep on damage.
It seems I'm safe from any... Is he actually using that to recon? Might be. I've been doing that recently as well with battleships, especially those Japanese ones, actually using them as recon. You see what's up. The only problem I have with the strategy is that the Congo is currently up north here, avoiding the actual objective, which, I mean, I like going north on this map as well, but on this map, on this version of this map, you really shouldn't.
For mercy!
You should get in the cabin as soon as possible.
Light cruiser! Port! 11,000!
Attack the enemy.
Yeah, there's no way I'm hitting the Renown behind that mountain.
Direct hit. Enemy listing and losing speed.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours.
I mean, it's worth a shot, I guess. I
Target
can get a
identified.
lock.
Battle cruiser!
Bearing 240.
Just to see what happens. We'll switch to the SAP because I think there's only cruisers left in my arc of fire. Oh, we are actually arcing over the island. Oh.
Light cruiser!
Well, 13.5-inch SAP.
1,000 meters!
It'd still be good enough to penetrate it.
Battle cruiser! Ahead! 7,000 meters!
Take him down!
No hits. Yeah, I really don't use that camera all that much. Probably should again. Is it an options rather than... It is, isn't it? Yeah. Let's use it again for a little bit. Ah, there's buildings in the way, that's why I'm not hitting.
Take him down!
Enemy hit.
Oh,
Target identified.
that tells me enough.
Light cruiser!
Bearing 240. 7,000 meters.
Battleship! Ahead! 5,000 meters!
Ahead. Is it Congo, like, coming
Keep
up
it
in
up,
front?
and victory will be ours.
Somebody attack
No,
him!
he's still way over there. Still a little bit of an awkward camera to use this.
Target destroyed!
Well, that was neat, I guess.
Engine
Oh, there
blank.
is a Congo right in front of me. That might hurt. That might hurt a lot. And I'm unsure if that 3D got its bomb off. Okay, I don't want to do that every time I shoot, but I will. Okay.
Target identified!
That problem was solved pretty quick. But I guess that's what's happened when you fired
Somebody
53
attack
kilos
him!
of TNT at something per shell. How far away was he?
Light cruiser! Port!
3 kilometers-ish? Yeah, no, that is more than enough pen to pen a Congo. Oh. There are definitely some tasty detonations today, that's for sure.
Engines all stop!
Yep. Ah, just yeah, destroyer. And the game's almost over.
Battle cruiser!
Ah, I saw this cruiser coming to a halt.
7,000 meters!
Just a little more effort, and victory will Charlie be ours.
dangerous shallows ahead.
Target identified. Destroyer. There. Hell on a port.
Let me just disable that option before I forget. Because otherwise I'm going to be playing tomorrow and just randomly get into the follow camera.
Engine. Flank speed.
Oh, hello, Shimakaze.
Target identified. Destroyer.
That's a bit scary. Oh, torpedo boat. That did actually sink me, although it was too late to save the match. But yeah, the Iron Duke is a nice ship. Of the premium battleship, it is probably one of the better ones, if not the best. And there we go, 20k away from Orion. But I am going to call it a night. Because it is 20 past 1 AM. And whilst I can go for maybe a little bit longer, I don't think I'll be coherent enough to stream. Anyways, thank you all for watching. There's been quite a few new faces as well this week, and it's always nice to see. And I'll be live again next week. Not quite sure what I'm going to be playing next week, but it's going to be Naval. So anyways, as usual, thank you for watching, and I will see you again next week.